listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network. Now, the largest new media platform on the web and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Dean. Johnson.
The AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's The Challenge After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's The Challenge After Show.
Yo, what up, After Buzzers? Bing is for doing, and we're back doing another AFTERBUZZ TV after show for Battle of the Seasons, MTV's The Challenge.
We're back.
We're back, and these voices are the lovely DJ Jesse and Roxy Striar.
Hello.
Hey, Buzzers. It's been that. I love the laugh, though. That's all I care about. At the end of the day, that's all I love, Roxy. That's all I ask for you. Sorry. Getting a little crazy. I missed you last week.
I know, it was Halloween though.
It was, and Sandy just Battle of the Seasons, literally fall season. Sandy just said, "Hey, MTV, no challenge this week."
This is what I'm saying. It's weird that it's called Sandy. If you want to see Sandy, come to the West Coast and come lay out on the beach with me. That's Sandy.
So
thank you.
we're gonna get this steamer on the line. Hopefully, Sandy ain't messing him up too much over there. But until then, this was a great episode.
I feel very emotionally invested tonight. I feel like I might be like getting some. I don't know. I'm in it. I'm in it.
You're in it.
Here I am. Can't get out of it.
And so, before we get into the drama of it, let's talk about the positive things. As a matter of fact, I don't know if you guys remember, but last battle challenge where we used to have our moment of silence for CT?
Yes.
All right. Well, you know, for old time's sake, I need a moment of silence just for this one episode for CJ. 1, 2, 3. I mean, hey.
Damn, boy.
Now, this is who you've been rooting for CJ this season.
Not the same way as CT though. That's
No, but
my be all end all. When we had him on the phone, I thought I was gonna pass out. But you know, I think he's really cute, and the flowers and the note and it's just cute. He just seems like a good boy.
Speaking of good boys, we have the Steamer on the line. What up, Steamer?
Not much. How you guys doing?
We're doing great.
Wonderful.
So serious every time. What did you think of tonight's episode? I know you were pissed last week that there was no episode.
I definitely was pissed. I don't know how. I don't care. It's Halloween. Still should be showing a challenge.
No, but did you go outside and yell at Sandy? Imagine the Steamer. Now that we know what he looks like, just yelling at Sandy. Damn you, gods!
Damn you, Sandy! Do you think it was because of Sandy, or just Halloween, or the combination of the two? Or?
No, it was because of Sandy. Because a lot of the.
I know Gossip Girl wasn't on either. The Monday before.
Well, let's talk about the fun stuff first. We had CJ crushing on Ashley, picking some flowers out, decided to make her a little arrangement. Yeah,
there was what was it? 3 was her lucky number, so there are 3 flowers in the center, but then 4 more because 7 is the number of God.
Yes. Dear Christian. And then, look, you're in a house with all these people. You cannot be writing love notes and just leaving them around.
You know, who was it telling us? Brandon, maybe? That when you write a note, it has to be read out loud somehow, because otherwise production finds you. So, maybe it was found, maybe they made the girls read it, maybe, you don't really know. So, if you're writing something down, actually, I think it was John A. who told us that. If you're writing something down, you have to have it be announced to the world. So just don't frickin' write anything down.
Just
what are
tell
you guys
her.
thinking?
Tell her how you feel.
But you know what? He didn't care. He was a good sport about it. It was a cute prank.
It was cute. I got a hands up to Marie.
Marie, this was way better than the fish in the bathtub thing. That was disgusting. This was funny. I mean,
this was, and it didn't hurt anyone.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, I thought it was funny, and then just to see Ashley's, reaction to it, I want to give him a high five. I loved it. I really loved it.
She's cool this season. She's cool as shit.
She is. Kind of good that her and Zach.
Although I didn't really like the fact that she didn't volunteer to go in.
But
we'll talk about that later.
Yes. Let's just jump into Brooklyn. I read on JD's tweets that tonight was going to be all about Brooklyn, and it definitely was. It started the show out with Devin as Vanna Black.
Yeah.
And Brooklyn wanted to do some fun games in the house. I thought this was good. Like Sarah said, this is what the challenge is about. Everyone having a good time, no fights, no drama. We actually have a caller on the line. Caller, what's your name? Where are you from?
Darius from East Missouri.
What up, Darius, correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right, Darius, what did you think of tonight's show?
I liked it. I just didn't like the fact how San Diego was treating Sam.
Yeah, we were kind of in the same boat too. What did you feel about it?
I mean, she was very you can understand. I mean, for carrying like a big heavy log. I mean, you'll be tired too. I mean, she's a girl. I mean, I'm not saying girl for weak, but I mean, they shouldn't be that hard on her.
Right.
Did you think that Zach or Frank was treating her worse? Who was being more helpful?
I actually think Frank did because he pushed her.
What, you think he was being, Frank was meaner?
Huh?
You think Frank was being worse?
Yeah, because he pushed her.
Agreed. And even when with Zach, although Zach was saying, calling her slow and hurry up, and, he was swearing, he wasn't swearing at her. And I felt like when he was standing next to her, pushing her up the hill, it wasn't like a physical push. There was no anger towards it. It was just like the drill sergeant. I'm going to yell in your ear to motivate you to keep going.
The problem is we've all been in these situations where somebody isn't as capable of doing something that we are, and it's frustrating as hell.
Very.
And you say things you don't mean, and television doesn't usually catch you saying those things. But that being said, this is the challenge, and the point of the challenge is to win.
Right.
So if you want to win, you need to put aside how you're actually feeling and put aside your personal differences, and you need to play the game. And the smartest move here would be to try to motivate Sam to say, you got this, keep going. Sam is clearly not somebody who just likes toughness. She needs a little tough love, or maybe just some love. And what they were doing was not working, period, end of sentence. The only reason they were not automatically in the arena was because there were two other teams of two.
Right.
Yeah, and I think St. Thomas did really good working with each other for the two pairs.
I thought they did pretty good. I mean, for just the two of them. And Marie she was puking up water or something.
And Rob was so sweet to her, and that's teamwork, Marie tweeted something like, Rob, this is you and me tonight. We had to go up and down that hill 7 times.
Yeah.
And everybody else had to go up and down 3 times. So, I mean, that's a huge difference.
Mm-hmm. And they were running. What was that?
But I'm glad to hear that Sam and Zach compromised together and actually won the elimination.
Exactly. We're going to get to the eliminations in just a little bit, but we want to thank you so much for calling in, and make sure you call in next week or keep watching.
Okay.
All right, thank you. And also, if you guys are listening out there or watching us, we want you guys to help us out, get us to #1 on iTunes. It's really easy. Just go to the iTunes store, search AFTERBUZZ, the challenge, subscribe, rate, download, comment. Takes 3 minutes. Super
5
simple.
stars.
5 stars, yes. And positive comments. We love feedback from you guys. So make sure you guys help us out on iTunes. Let's talk about the challenge. It was this checkpoint game. This was hard. You had to memorize these dotted weird...
I mean, the way that it was described was TJ was like, listen, this is a mini final, so if you can't do this, you can't go all the way. And it's interesting that the team that was eliminated tonight was the team that didn't complete this.
Yeah.
And yes, there were only 2, but, if you can't figure this one out, you're not going to win. and obviously they didn't. So.
And it was interesting watching it because you can kind of see all the teams and see who. Oh, you know what? I don't want you in the final. I was thinking that about no shade because I love Devin, but you know, looking Devin carrying these up and stopping and being like, no, I am a heel girl. Like I can't run this. Like.
But the rest of her team was doing so well, and that was teamwork to me.
Right.
Them being like, Sarah being like, Devin, you're more than this girl that wears heels. Come on, prove yourself. You got this. That's how you get somebody to the top of the hill.
Derek carrying.
Exactly.
Oh no, Jasmine.
Jasmine. It's about strategy also. Sarah being smart enough to be like, why are we going to run all the way to the top and then organize these logs? No, at stage 2, we're going to do this. That's what wins this game.
I can't believe she was the only person to think of that. Steamer, what did you think of this challenge?
I loved it.
Yeah.
The previous ones, I mean, for the most part, like, I didn't really like them. Like, maybe half of them were good. This one was, like, what I love about the challenge. Like, the random physicality, the fact you have the stamina. I just love the whole execution of it.
And since you love Frank and Zach so much, what did you think of tonight with them yelling at Sam and whatnot?
They just keep exposing themselves as like, the douchebags they are. It's just ridiculous how they kept yelling at her. And what was that going to accomplish? It's just like a lack of leadership ability as well. Like, not only are they douchebags, they're stupid too. They don't know how to motivate. So it backfired on them.
I mean,
luckily at the end it worked out.
And definitely, I mean, we had Zach talk on the show and definitely exposed himself with some choice words about other people.
I have to give Zach props tonight.
I gotta say,
even though he called me a lady douche. I mean, and we're gonna talk about this a little later, but about the arena, Frank, much love, but I thought that was fucked up.
But beyond that, just in the challenge though with Zach, I didn't think. I think it looked like he was, you know, bad towards Sam because of we're adding on what Frank was doing to Sam. But I don't think what Zach was doing was that crazy, that outlandish, that mean to Sam. I think she was taking it that way because Frank was throwing, you know, bitch, fat,
I was just
like all these choice words. And with Zach, I will give him that. I think it was more of a drill sergeant type mode with him because I did like that he said you don't understand what your body is capable of doing.
Right.
You know, and when he said that he was walking with her, it wasn't like, you know, he was running up ahead and yelling at her and calling her names. I didn't hear him call her any names.
Right, 100%. And when you are as strong as your weakest link, that is what you have to do. That's the whole point of Battle of the Seasons. If it was an individual battle, then do your own thing.
Exactly.
But it's not that. So you have to retrain your mind almost to play a different game. And Frank is not playing that game right now, even though I do think we've seen him play it in previous challenges, and sometimes he can be a team player. Tonight, he really wasn't.
And especially when she sits there and says, I feel like you're degrading me.
Right.
Which, Frank, you kind of were. I did the one comment.
Even though I wanted to hit Sam.
The one comment I did like was, you are not Jesus carrying the cross. That was funny. I will give you that.
But I have to say, I was frustrated with Sam too. I would have dealt with it differently, or I would hope that I would. But if you have the energy to talk, you have the energy to fucking move.
Right.
Do not talk to me. Do not scream at me. If you are screaming about, I can't move, I have no energy. If you can open your mouth, you can move your fucking legs.
Right. We have another caller on the line. Caller, what's your name? Where are you from? Caller?
A little shy guy.
Go ahead, caller, you're on.
Okay, moving on.
What did you think of the other teams? I mean, obviously, Brooklyn won. Smart strategy.
Teamwork.
From the beginning. San Diego and Cancun.
No, then we had Cancun in 2 and Vegas in 3.
Yeah. Cancun screwed up because they didn't realize that there were 3 extra pieces.
But they still came in second.
In this puzzle, I mean, I don't think I would love. We need to definitely talk to someone next week about this puzzle, because you ever remember when you were younger? I forget what those books were called, but you like would put your face up to it and you pull it back, and there's all these patterns, and then this one image would like, I Spy, I think it was called. That's what this reminded me of. Like this pattern. Imagine having to remember dots and then run up this hill in heat.
That's the kind of shit that I'm really good at. So it's like, no. So
but in the heat like that, and you're like,
yeah, but you have to think like Sarah. You have to think about it. And these people are just go, go, go. You got to get out of go mode. figure out what your game plan is and then step into it. You know, it's about being smart. It's not just about being tough and strong and fast. You got to think.
So Dustin's gang sign memorizing skills wasn't working for you?
I mean, you know what? Like, do your thing if that's what's working for you. I really liked Dustin. I thought he looked like a little cutie pie, so I guess it was working for him. But clearly, Sarah's strategy was right. I didn't really understand what she was saying about the clock. She was like, guys, it's not a puzzle, it's a clock. That I didn't get.
Ooh, Steamer, did you catch that?
No, yeah, I caught it. I didn't understand either. That's not something that I'd be very good at, like memorizing those patterns. So I just let them go about doing it. And hey, good for Sarah. She figured it out. After all these years of saying she's good at a puzzle, she actually followed through on it.
Yeah, I mean, we paused it for a little bit and tried to like figure out, well, which ones would we be able to figure out. But
now that Sarah's like kind of dropped her like, ooh, Alton, let me suck your dick. I'm really enjoying her.
You are? Okay. We enjoy her. So Cancun got second place, Vegas third, San Diego fourth, St. Thomas fifth. And I loved that TJ at the end, said, San Diego, you guys need to work on team effort.
100%. He keeps it real.
Beyond calling people's names, Frank, you pushed her. Like, not pushing her up the hill, like, you pushed her.
I would love to see TJ compete.
Me too.
Oh, I bet he's fierce.
He's not a giver upper. So New Orleans loses, and then we get into this whole battle situation about who's gonna go in.
Hey, remember that time that Rob called TJ a bitch? Yeah. I thought that was such a funny moment, and they didn't take it out because I love when they put things like that in. Sorry, keep going.
But speaking of funny moments, I don't know if you guys know, but it's the fall season of TV, and there's tons of new comedy shows like The Mindy Project, The New Girl's Back. New dramas, Vampire Diaries, Jersey Shore is back.
Yeah.
So many new shows in the fall season, and AfterBuzz is covering them. So whatever your favorite show is, watch it, and as soon as it's over, turn to AfterBuzzTV.com, and we're probably talking about it. If we're not talking about it right then, check our schedule, because it could be like the day after. We're doing so many shows here, but definitely
we're doing over
season.
50 in the fall alone, 150 in general, so we're freaking covering whatever you're watching.
Yes.
Basically point blank.
So please join us. You heard we had callers earlier, so please, this is an interactive show, guys. And keep the comments going, because you guys really keep that conversation going on YouTube.
The YouTube comments are great. We can move some of that to iTunes.
It would be even better.
Yeah.
All right, so Zach versus Frank, this yelling about who's in charge. So I'm going to go to you, Steamer. What did you think about this whole thing between the two of them? Because you think they both are douches, so who is being less douchey in this situation?
The lesser of the two douches?
Yes.
It's Zach, since Frank keeps talking about how smart he is, which I'm sure he is. I'm sure he is smarter than Zach. But if that's the case, it's a mental challenge. You go in. You be a man. You go in. He was calling out Alton last week for not going in after Alton said he was going to. Now he's doing the exact same thing. It's just another example of hypocrisy. That's all he does this whole season. He's just a hypocrite.
Roxy's raising.
Called out for it again.
Calling me.
Roxy's raising.
Okay. I'm literally going to get hate mail all week. I know it. It's fine. I'm just going to bite the bullet and say it anyway. Here's what I will give Frank. I don't agree with what he did. I don't think that he should have made Zach go in. If you shake somebody's hand and you say, I'm doing these two things, I believe you should do them. That being said, this quote-unquote mental game, for guys, for the females, it is mental.
I agree with
for
what
the males, For the males, it has nothing to do with mental. This is the most physical of the challenges. So for him to shake Zach's hand and say, listen, you're doing the physical stuff, this is the most physical. This has, especially for the guys, you're pulling yourself down into the water.
Holding your breath.
Holding your breath. I don't believe that this is under the category.
Which one would Frank step up for Zach? Which one, the strength or the endurance? Which one would Frank do?
It's a good point. I'm not saying that it makes it right. I still think he should have stepped up because he said he would. But to justify what he's saying, I do think if this had been a pure mental challenge, I do think Frank would have stepped up.
So playing devil's advocate, because I do agree. I did see that side of it. I feel like with Frank, knowing what the challenge is. Well, it's kind of like three topics. Knowing what the challenge is, yes, I do think Zach was the better choice to do this.
Right.
Now, I also understood when Frank made the comment, well, yeah, we shook hands and said me and Ashley were going to go in, but now Sam's going in. So we're going back on Sam, or are we going back on Frank?
I don't know why Ashley did that, and maybe because Sam.
Because I was surprised that
worse.
Ashley didn't step up and say.
But it was because Sam lost the challenge.
Realized that she was the reason they lost, that they didn't win, so she's taking responsibility. So good on her for doing that.
Oh, absolutely. I definitely agree with that.
Definitely. But I felt like Frank shot himself even more in the foot, because the conversation the night before, Frank was like, Zach, I would never do that to you, bro. Like, we're going to get there, and I'm going in. I said I'd go in. The second they saw the mental challenge and they weren't nominated was the time for Frank to turn to Zach and be like,
yep,
that was not a mental challenge. We need to reconfigure our plan and break it off in 2 and 2 so that Frank could do endurance or whatever it was, the ropes one, whatever it is. That was the time to discuss it, not the day of, not the night before, not when he said he was going to do it. Unless that was editing, which I don't believe it was, he messed up.
And I mean, I think they would make a great couple, actually, because
who?
Frank and Zach. Just how passionate they are with each other. How, Zach was like, I'm walking out. I feel like Frank wants me and Sam to leave, and he doesn't trust Frank anymore. And it was just like, who did we see? Damn it, who did we see step up and was like, you know what? No, you don't want to do this? I'm going to go in. Who was that?
Dustin.
Yes, Dustin and Elton. Exactly, last episode. Dustin said, you know what, I'm going to go in. I'm going to do this.
I started loving Dustin, even though I liked him before that. That was like, yeah. I know it sucks because you can get eliminated.
Right.
But when you say you're going to do something, you got to do it.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Or nobody's going to trust you. And in this episode, when Zach says about Frank, he says, when you're dealing with a conniving psychopath, those are harsh words, but I mean, this was tough. It was a tough week for Frank.
And then he goes into the room. Well, before they go into the room, him and Zach are yelling at each other, and it's so passionate. And poor Sam, I really felt for her sitting. Imagine, like, you feel you lost the challenge. You already put the blame on yourself. So now you're accepting the blame and saying, okay, I want to step up. And then you see them arguing, and then Frank goes, yeah, we're arguing because none of us want to go in with you, Sam, because we know that you don't have the capability of winning. I mean, way to beat a horse while it's down. Like,
okay, again, I guess playing devil's advocate, but
truth. I mean,
Sam, get your ass in the gym. Look at she goes, I'm not a gym rat like my other teammates. I don't care if you are a gym rat or not. You're on the challenge. Get your fucking ass in the gym. There's no excuse when your teammates are Frank, Zach, and Ashley, who are there every day. Lift something up. Go do something. Run something. You know what this challenge is.
Right. I agree.
If you want to win this, you have to be able to, and people are counting on you. So I don't know. I understood that, but
cutthroat, Roxy. Cutthroat.
But that being said, once they knew that she was going in, I think that the whole time they should have been trying to convince Ashley to go in because it's a team thing. But once they knew she was going in, that's not the time to be like, you can't do this. That's the time to boost her ego, not to knock her down. Although knocking her down kind of gave her that little extra burst, and that's why they won.
Very true. I think if they really were thinking it with clear minds, Ashley would have been good for this challenge because she has longer arms. And obviously Zach's used to carrying her, so he knows he can carry that weight easily. How do you think Frank would have done in this challenge? I think him and Knight would have been more. It would have been closer.
This is what I'm going to say. I think that Knight really proved himself in this challenge. I was shocked. I thought Knight was going to be out of breath. He's out of shape. I thought Jemmy was going to give up something. No, they were sticking in it.
I wanted to see Jimmy climb the thing like a
yeah, oh my God, that would have been hilarious. But I was really impressed. I think Frank would have done well because you see him compete in challenges, and he kicks butt. He even did that thing on the crazy races last week where he was the horse pulling all of them.
That's true.
He has endurance. His butt is in the gym. I think the results would have been the same, but I don't know for sure. And obviously Zach is longer.
But you would have definitely gone with Zach as the
yes, definitely.
What did you think when Frank went into the bedroom right before he realized I might be thrown in, and he went to Sam and he did a half-ass apology to her? And she said, I can see right through him. Did you take it as sincere, or did you kind of take it as like, it's right before it might be sincere. I did understand what you're saying. We're family, like, because I yell at please, if you heard conversations I had with my brother, you'd be like, you know, we do tend to have more aggression to those that we're closer with, and this is a game. So I understand apologizing on that behalf. But I can also see how Sam could look at it like, you're coming to me right before because you don't want me to screw up.
I think he was sincere in the sense that he sincerely didn't want Sam to be pissed at him. Like, I think that was sincere. I think it was a smart game move. But I don't know. I think the real question is, why did Team Brooklyn not put Frank in? I don't know whether Frank knew that.
That's what because you brought that up.
You were saying maybe the Devin connection. If I was Team Brooklyn 2 seconds, I would have thrown Frank in, especially because he's been so vocal against Team Brooklyn. And the whole, so I don't know.
What do you think, Steamer? Do you think they were looking at Frank as the stronger player, the weaker player? Why do you think that happened? Or do you think there were politics behind it?
Zach was the stronger player, and they just thought maybe with Sam, maybe he would go out and try to get rid of him because he'll be the one carrying the team if they make it to the final. So probably just a shot to get him out. I don't think they have many shots at that. So,
but interestingly enough, though, Sam was the one who kind of carried Zach in that.
Yes, this water torture challenge.
But how would Brooklyn know that? I mean,
that's true.
You saw how she was in the challenge. You figured she'll quit in this, so you take a shot to get out Zach.
And I think I'm so used to like MTV's censoring that I turned to Roxy and I was like, did they actually say the word fucking, or did the bleep? Because you could literally, I mean, I didn't hear it bleep, but Sam turned to him and was like, I need you to go to the fucking bottom of the pool. It was just so like, whoa.
But Sam was motivational. She looked at Zach and was like, Zach, do you want to win this? Then fucking get down there.
Right.
And that's how you talk to somebody, you know? That's like, whatever you feel about Sam or not, that's what it is to be a team player. She stepped up this week. She messed up during the challenge. She put herself in, and she got her and Zach through it. So.
And then when they did win, Zach was so excited. He like did this like crunch situation. He was like, Sam, I love you. Frank, fuck you.
Yeah.
And then you just knew it was just gonna go downhill from there. And then editing, of course, turned to Frank, and Frank did his little caddy. You know, they haven't won any challenges. You know, they won all their challenges because of me.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean...
It makes us want to go hate Frank more, but I do think that was editing.
Right. I mean, tonight was not a good look for Frank. I mean, across the board, it was not a good look for him.
And, I mean, obviously we know him and Zach are cool now, so obviously something's going to cool the waters down.
They're family.
What was that?
They're family. Of course they are. Everyone in the show is family. Just because the word gets thrown around like haphazardly because you're on a TV show together. So kind of common.
Yes, and the wife was rooting. Janedy was on the side wearing Zach's T-shirt as a dress.
That was hysterical to me. But do you have a little bit of...
Rumor has it that Zach and Janedy broke up, but then, well, no, I heard that they did break up, but then rumor has it that they might be trying to work it back.
AfterBuzz TV exclusive.
So,
but girl looked cute in that dress. I gotta say, she was a cute little cheerleader.
Yeah, good styling girl. So then Frank and Zach are going back, and again, Frank editing makes Frank look manipulative in the sense of, I'm going to sit here and stroke Zach's ego, but I think Frank looks scared that him and Zach were fighting like this.
Yeah.
Like, almost like, oh shit, what did I get myself into?
Yeah, because, I mean, like he said right before, he was like, I want them to come back because this is a game of numbers, but emotionally, them coming back is going to be there.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know. What did you think, Steamer?
I'm done with Zach and I'm done with Frank. I just want to see them go home, but I don't think it's going to happen. So I'm just kind of stuck with them and just.
You don't think it's going to happen? What, you mean you think they're going to stick it out all the way, or why do you not think they're going to go home?
I just think they'll make it. I mean, just based on the way the season's going, I don't think either one's going home.
All right. Any last comments before we get to our favorite Stump the Steamer. No? About the episode? Any last comments, Steamer?
No, I think we covered it all.
Pretty much. So, ladies and gentlemen, Stump the Steamer! This is from Andrew Kirk, CSU8 Kirk on Twitter. And he said, on the ruins, who is the first guy in challenge history to eliminate Wes, and to make it more interesting, what girl got eliminated that same episode?
It was Gahutta.
Yep.
And was it Ev?
It was not Ev. It was Ibis.
Yep.
From Road Rules. But you didn't stump the Steamer. We're going to give... it was the first part.
Half a point for my first points of the season.
Yes.
Good for me.
Congratulations, Steamer. You're there. Let's head into predictions. I'm excited.
You're
for some
TV.
cow testicles.
Cow testicles.
Battle of the seasons. They like them balls. I mean... What can I say?
Balls just flying everywhere.
It was like this game show type setup.
And loved seeing TJ dressed up as a game show host.
Seriously, he's like making the season for me. I love TJ. He's one of my favorite hosts on TV. Like, why is he not nominated for more shit?
This challenge looks really... What was that, Steve?
Great job.
He is.
TJ's one of the best hosts on reality TV.
I really think...
Phenomenal.
Yeah. He's incredible, and he gives opinions.
How do you feel if he was like the host of, like, you know how they do like the after show reunions? I think that would be interesting. He can't take Maria's place at the end of the reunion. Absolutely not. But you know how they do the after every couple episodes?
Yeah, like Johnny Mosley.
I would like him to take Johnny Mosley's place. Because I feel like he would really be like, remember in the house when you did this? I feel like he would call people out on their bullshit.
Yeah.
He definitely would call him out on more shit, since that's all he does, like, on it. Like, when Eric quit, like, he didn't care if Eric was about to die. He still call him out on quitting. And
right.
I just love that.
Agreed. And then we get more Frank and Zach, and Frank freaks out.
I will not be made to look like a crazy person. And that's the preview we've been seeing all season, so...
This is going to be
ship has sailed already, Frank.
a highlight episode for us here at AfterBuzz. But we're going to thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure you guys follow us on AfterBuzz TV, on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Make sure you help us out on iTunes, subscribe, rate, download, comment. You can follow me on Twitter at DJ Jesse J.
At Roxy Striar.
And...
At the Steamer.
Until next week, same time, same place. See you later.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.